welcome to the No Spin News, Monday, June 23rd, 2025. Stand up for your country. Well, we are glad you are here today. So much foolish reporting and analysis going on. It just blows my head off. I'm just, But we are going to tell you the truth and back it up. Complicated. Paper, pen. Okay? Because I can't be answering every question. I get thousands of letters. Now, you premium and concierge members get a transcript of the whole show every day. Okay, but there's a lot of stuff here that you need to know. So, mid-afternoon, Iran fired some ordnance at U.S. bases in the Middle East. Everybody knew that was going to happen. Mullers have to save face. They're really on the edge right now. If the army turns against them, they're done. Persians would like them out of there anyway. Economy's terrible. But I'm not real concerned about their military capacity, Iran, right now. I could be wrong, and if I am, I will correct myself immediately. But right now, there's a few missiles being lobbed over. Pentagon was prepared for it. All right, the talking points memo is to run down the facts and correct the record on what happened Saturday night. And I've got a very interesting story to tell you at the end of this program about where I was and what happened. We also have Bernie Goldberg going to do a little analysis for us tonight as well. Okay, so the Iran bombing happened because Donald Trump ran out of patience. He's a transactional president. He gave the Mullers more than enough time to make a deal. They obviously were giving Trump the middle finger. Trump doesn't like that. What confused me a little bit was that he went from the White House to Bedminster, New Jersey on Friday. When he did that, I went, okay, there's not going to be anything over the weekend. Why would you do that? Go up to Jersey. And then he turned right around and went back to D.C. And I went, ooh, something happened there. And I don't know what it is. I will find out, but I don't know now. He got some intel or Israel said something, but I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to guess. We do not do that here. So the history of this is that Donald Trump pulled out of the Iranian nuclear deal, which was engineered by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Okay? That deal came together in 2015. Okay? So Obama signed it. The deal was essentially a bribe, $1.7 billion to the Mullers in cash. Those were frozen assets, and $400 million came on a plane in the middle of the night in suitcases. So what does that tell you? And in return, the Mullers said, okay, we're not going to try to get a nuclear weapon. All right. Now, when Trump took over in 2017, he charted, and I wrote a book, Killing the Killers, which you should read, all of Iran's cheating. All right, and then he blew up Soleimani, the head of the Revolutionary Guard. You know that, right? But he got fed up, and in May 8th, 2018, he pulled out. And I'm going to read you the Trump statement a little later on. Pulled out of the nuke deal. Britain, France, and Germany stayed in. Almost immediately, the Mullers said, all right, now we're going to do what we want because nobody can stop us. Britain, France, and Germany couldn't stop them. The United States could. And then the acceleration of the uranium began in earnest. It went from 3.6% under the Obama deal, that was it, to 60% or more, according to the United Nations weapons inspectors, who were then barred from going in. Okay. So when Trump got reelected, he came in, he said to the Mullers, you got to work this out. We'll have another deal. But this deal will be fair. And from January until Saturday, that's what the Trump administration tried to do. And the Mullers got clear they were not going to make a deal. That is the genesis of this. Okay. In the meantime, the Mullers financed Hamas. On October 7th, 2024, Hamas came over and slaughtered the Jews. Hezbollah, Houthis, all Iranian money and arms, like this. That enraged Donald Trump. And they wouldn't stop. So you got nuke enrichment, you got terrorism, you got the Mullers giving the President of the United States the middle finger. What do you think is going to happen? Now, if Kamala Harris had been elected and her own people say this, she would have done nothing because Biden didn't do a thing. Not a thing. They're weak. Trump's not weak. Was it the right thing to do? Absolutely yes. Will it work out the way that we hope? No one knows. Okay. Now, you heard immediately from the left that Trump needs to be impeached, that he needs this, the War Powers Act. Just give you some facts. 1998, President Clinton bombs Afghanistan, trying to get the Taliban and Al-Qaeda because they blew up American embassies in Kenya and Tanzania. 1999, President Clinton bombs Kosovo. Okay? Didn't have to, no national security. And for us, just bombs them because they were slaughtering people. The Kosovans were slaughtering people. That's two. Okay? Then President Obama bombs Libya. All right? In 2011, leading to Gaddafi's overthrow and death. Hillary Clinton was the cheerleader. Democrats said not one word on any of those. Not one word. Keep that in mind. All right. Now they're screaming War Powers Act. War Powers this, War Powers that. I'm going to quote from the War Powers Act. Officially known as the War Powers Resolution, sets a limit of 60 to 90 days for military deployments initiated by the president without a formal declaration of war or explicit congressional authorization. So Trump didn't violate anything. He's got 60 to 90 days to expedite this. There it is. Oh, no. Oh, we have to bring him up and impeach him. Two morons. I'll get to that in a moment. Ocasio-Cortez and this guy Kasten. Oh, my God. The worst is Schumer. Charles Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader. What a hypocrite. Okay? Here's what he said. Quote, "We must enforce the War Powers Act, and I'm urging Leader Thune to put it on the Senate floor immediately. I am voting for it and implore all senators on both sides of the aisle to vote for it." Chuck Schumer. Okay? Now, you got the window there. Schumer doesn't care. Wants to embarrass Trump. Here's what Schumer said, okay, in the run-up to Obama bombing Libya. Go.
"I think the president's handling it very well. Not taking a military option off the table, but being careful."
And then after the bombs dropped, Schumer didn't say anything. Supported it. What a blanking hypocrite. My God. Okay. Now, the Senate, the House Ethics Committee have got to call Congressman Sean Casten and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. While our military people were in the air, they called for the impeachment of the commander-in-chief. Okay? They got to go up before the Ethics Committee. And I'm going to make sure that happens. So tomorrow, we're going to tell you who the chairman of the Ethics Committee is. We're going to call him. Try to get him on, but this has to go. You cannot, when you have military people actively involved in action, and you're undermining the commander-in-chief in real time, putting those people in more danger. Yeah, you could use the word treason. You never get a conviction on that. But I don't think that's an unreasonable word, but these two. And they're both nuts. And I mean that literally. They are as far left as you could possibly be, sympathizing with the devil. They're wrong. All right, so within hours of the bombing, the Mullers, I said, they've lost all face. They're trying to desperately hang on. We're going to close the Straits of Hormuz. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Now, there has been reaction abroad. But I'm going to save that to the YouTube channel because I want to get into it in a more precise way. And I got so much to cover here on breaking news. So if you go to our YouTube channel, I hope you sign up. It's free. It's just an appendage of the No Spin News. All right, there it is, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. We will do an in-depth analysis of China and Russia and Europe, all of that. And that will be posted early this evening. Okay, so please sign up for that. Anyway, I get tons of letters. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. And anybody who goes on these cable shows, these idiot shows, and says that they're irresponsible. But I know that President Trump ain't going to back down. So it's in motion. If I were the Mullers, I would sign a deal as quickly as possible. Save your butt. Because he's not going to back away. Okay? And that's the memo. Hey, folks, listen to what I am about to share with you. It's important. If you suffer from fatigue, memory loss, achy joints, or just find yourself getting sick all the time, then check out Strong Cell. You used to get NADH in an IV, but not anymore. Strong Cell's proprietary formula delivers NADH in a way your body can absorb. It's the first NADH supplement that works. There's over 30 trillion cells in your body. Take care of them so that they can take care of you. Results include a sharper, clearer mind, increased natural energy throughout the day, so no more afternoon crashes. It's an easy daily 2-ounce drink. You'll feel the impact in 3 to 6 weeks. Invest in your health. Visit strongcell.com/Bill. Use code Bill to get 20% off. That's strongcell.com/Bill. Okay, once again, the YouTube address. We got the big rundown of foreign reaction on Iran. YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly. It's free. Sign up. It is an extension of the No Spin News. We do not do the same stuff. It's all new. The mail. Okay, we got Tim, concierge member. My team is at Tim's service, which is a good thing to have. BillO'Reilly.com, concierge or premium membership. Why would anyone condemn the destruction of a country's nuclear capability when that country has vowed to destroy Israel? That kind of thing cannot go unpunished. Not just Israel, it's us. Rick Romdeni, Argyle, Washington. What risk of a nuclear explosion was there in the raid? None. They don't have the bomb. They are enriching uranium to make the bomb. Now, radiation. George Boyer, Perth, Australia. I've always wanted to go to Perth. I don't know if I ever get there. It's not an easy place to get to on the west coast of Australia. Hey, Bill, it's absolutely necessary to prevent Iran from having a nuclear weapon, but why was Kim Jong-un allowed to develop one? Because that was 2003. And the Russians were helping him. And the Chinese probably were helping him. And nobody knew about it. And he's not the party to any international treaties. So that was back. Libel, Carmel, Lakewood, New Jersey. Bill, you're the only moral voice to point out that Iran and Hamas are trying to kill as many innocent Jews as they can and consider it successful when they do. In my book, Confronting Evil, the prologue is about the Hamas raid on October 7th. Where do you see it? Where do you read what really happened there? Michael, concierge member, looks like China did not pay much attention to what you told them, O'Reilly. They have flown 5 747s into Iran. Are they replenishing the missiles fired on Israel? Number one, I have no idea where you got that. Number two, I think it came from Gordon Chang. who is very anti-Chinese, and I would like to see backup for that. So if you, Michael, would send me the backup for the 5 747s going into Iran in the last few days, I would absolutely like to have that information. But if you don't have backup, you may be being conned. Mike Smay, Philippines. Watch you every day on YouTube. No one does what you do. Appreciate it. Regarding your plan for peace and prosperity for the U.S. and China, you say, component of that are the two countries working together to tamp down chaos. What about the chaos China has been causing in the past decade with their intrusions in the South China Sea? That would all have to stop. And I told them that. You have to stop. If you want a partnership for peace and prosperity, you can't be causing trouble yourself. So that's that. Greg Reilly, Stratford, Connecticut. Is it reasonable to expect the United States, a very large market for goods, would not have a balanced trade with smaller countries? Sure, but a lot of these countries aren't letting our products in. I was there in Japan, Korea, and China for 10 days. I saw 3 American cars. 3. And we were all over the place. They don't let them in. That's the situation. Okay, get your not woke gear. Not woke gear sweeping the summer. I'm seeing it all over the place. All right, a lot of fun. You'll make a lot of friends wearing that. BillO'Reilly.com has it. And we are going to do the final thought about where I was when the bombing started on Saturday night. Right back. We don't talk enough about those truly making a positive impact. So let's take a moment to discuss Delta Rescue, the world's largest no-kill care-for-life animal sanctuary, home to more than 1,500 rescued animals. It is staffed by trained specialists who provide lifelong care, love, and safety. They do incredible work. But look, it's important to remember that Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions from us. I have donated, and so should you. Their founder, Leo Grillo, built a legacy of dedication and everlasting love for animals. So consider making it a part of your legacy too. Talk with an estate planner. Check out the estate planning tab at deltarescue.org. You can make a difference, even get potential tax benefits. So please visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. deltarescue.org. Hey folks, inflation's eating away at everything. If you're a homeowner, you've probably considered calling American Financing to help with that rising credit card debt. But then you second guess yourself, don't you? Because of your low mortgage rate. And with minimum payments and credit card rates at 25% more, that debt's going to keep following you. American Financing can help. It can use your home's equity to finally break free. Customers save an average of $800 a month. There's no upfront fees, and it's free to find out what you could save. If you start today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. So please call American Financing at 888-462-9557. 888-462-9557. AmericanFinancing.net/bill. Okay, let's do the final thought of the day as my voice cracks here. A lot of pollen in the air. It's like 98 degrees in New York City. Where I am on Eastern Long Island, it's about 25 degrees cooler, thank God. So I'm at a party in Bridgehampton Saturday night, about 50 people, most of them affluent. And then I get a ping on a dopey phone, which I got to carry everywhere. And it says the bombing has commenced. So I turn on the giant TV in the living room of the house, which is rude, but I had to do it. And some people start to gather around. And I'm taking notes. And a woman walks up to me and goes, "Well, why are you taking notes?" She had no idea, of course. I go, "Well, I'm a journalist, and this is very important, so I'm going to have to report and analyze on it." And she goes, "Oh, What and I said, listen, and I try never to be rude to anybody in social situations. Obviously, why would I want to do that? I said, look, just ask the host of the party, and he'll explain everything. My assessment was that 50% of the people at the party cared about this, and 50% did not. They live in a bubble. The bubble does not include information. They knew after a while that this bombing was underway, and I have to report that Jennifer Griffin, far and away the best Pentagon reporter in the country on Fox, way better than any of the other networks. So I'm zeroing in on what Jen is saying, so I know it's reliable. But then after the initial round, and we're waiting for Trump to speak, half of the people there couldn't have cared less, because they don't live in a world that matters. They live in their own created world. And that's not unusual. I think maybe half the population is there, whether it's sports or fashion or entertainment or religion or whatever it may be. They're in this bubble, and they nothing in, nothing out. It was just absolutely fascinating to watch this thing unfold. And I was polite. I answered questions. Everybody go, well, what's going to happen? How do I know what's going to happen? And as I said earlier in the broadcast, if somebody says they know what's going to happen, turn it off. They don't know. Very hard to get solid information. We have the best here on the No Spin News and our other vehicles. We have the best information flow in the country, by far. But I didn't know that bombing was going to happen. I had no clue. I thought when Trump went from D.C. to Bedminster, New Jersey, his golf club, on Friday, I said, okay, then the weekend's off. But then he went back. Something happened I don't know yet. I'll find out, but I don't know yet why that was such a quick turnaround. Anyway, I thought you would find that interesting. The bubble people, I call them. I'm going to do more reporting on the bubblers because there's so many of them, and they're mounting and mounting and mounting because it's easy to live your life on this. Very easy. So thank you very much for watching and listening on the radio to the No Spin News. News Nation tonight, 9. Piers Morgan on his podcast, I guess. And we are going to have the best information for you this week. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.